Why would I resist the answer? The times in my life where I asked and I didn't listen to the answer was the time where I delayed it. And I couldn't hear the yes or the no because I was so attached to the answers. Just breathe, ask, and trust whatever answer it is.
Do you have some sort of perspective that could help understand? Like, how do you make a choice? Like, hey, this is something that I choose to put discipline into and go through, or this is a project that's now time to cut. It's time to move on. How do you make a choice like that?
I just ask, like, is this aligned for me? The answer always comes, man. The times in my life where I asked and I didn't listen to the answer was the time where I delayed it.
Who are you asking?
It's just asking a question within myself, right? People will say they're asking it to God, they're asking it to life, they're asking it to their higher self, all these different names to say it, right? But I'm really just asking a question within me. And when I'm really calm and I'm okay with either the yes or the no, the answer comes. Now, if I want the answer to be yes or I want the answer to be no, that's when it's like, oh my God, what do I do? What are they going to think of me? All that's when that's going on, right? But once I can get to a point where I'm like, you know what? God, life, universe, whatever you guys want to call it, I'm okay with this being yes or no. That's when the clarity comes in. And I feel like as I've started to trust my intuition in that yes or no, like my clarity's starting to grow and grow each and every day. And now an opportunity comes, I can ask and I get an answer every time.
See, that's so interesting when we talk about the concept of asking ourselves, right? Because I've been in positions, I'm sure you have, and probably a lot of listeners, a lot of us have been, should I do this, right? Ask yourself the question. And the mind can go, well, you could do this or you can't, and this, but if you do this, then this is going to happen, and this, and we'll go for days, months, it could be even years on some of these choices with our mind going absolutely bonkers. So from what I'm understanding from you, what I'm getting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or tell me if this is the truth, it's about getting into a beautiful, calm, loving, joyful, emotional state. Forget what's going to actually happen on the external world. Forget the outcome. Forget all that stuff. Just sit. Let's breathe. Let's feel joy. Let's get into this space of joy and love. And from there, intuition comes in, and then we can create from that perspective.
Yeah. Just breathe, ask, and trust whatever answer it is. And that's it. And move forward. It's really simple. Be okay with whatever answer. Breathe, ask, and be okay with whatever answer.
How do you just be okay with whatever answer? Because I know some people, I've done it at times as well, where I'm just like, that's the answer? No, fuck no, that's not the answer.
Exactly. That's when you get screwed.
So how do we trust? How do we do it?
Okay. So now we're going back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the conversation with validation. Why would I resist the answer? Because I'm trying to prove myself. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to get love from outside. It really, all these patterns come down to trying to get love from the outer world. Once I realize that's an illusion, I can start to really trust my voice on a deeper level. You know, and also, once I trust the voice when it's the hardest to do it, that's when I gain tremendous amounts of confidence and trust in my inner guidance. So, for example, when me and Evan were thinking of ending our business, and I was also in a relationship at the time with this woman that Evan introduced me to. It was a toxic relationship. There was a lot of patterns going on there, which I could share, but that would be another long thing. Anyways, I was in that relationship, and I was with Evan in the business. And for a while, I would say a few months, I had a no for it. Like, it was getting to a point where it was like, yo, leave, right? But I also wanted to stay. So it was like, leave, don't leave. What if you leave and then you made a mistake? Well, what if you stay and like this just isn't aligned for you? And it was like this battle going on in myself, right? And I couldn't hear the yes or the no because I was so attached to the answers. I wanted it to be a yes, but then at times I wanted it to be no. And I was like in my head about all of it, right? And after a few months of pain, as you can imagine, of going through all that, I finally got to a place where I was like, you know what? This is so painful to be in this doubt land that I'm okay with whatever the answer is. And I remember, dude, it was one night at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and I just sat with myself and I said, God, like whatever this is, just tell me. And it was about the relationship. And I said, is this relationship aligned for me? Like, is she for me? No. Like, it was just no. There was no other thing about it. It's just the clearest no I've ever heard in my life, bro, up until that point. It was like, no. And I was like, okay, will she ever be for me? No. So what do I do? Leave. When? Now. I was like, whoa, this is like, and I was like, and then the voice came and said, it may be painful, but this is what's meant for you. Like, this is what you need to do. And then the second I made the choice, I was going to do that. And I'm like, this is done. Like, I'm moving forward from this relationship and I'm moving on with my life. I could see my intuition and my understanding of all the patterns that were going on in the relationship, how I created that relationship in the first place, the patterns I had with my mom that led to the relationship, what I needed to do moving forward, all of it opened up when I trusted the voice. It was in an instant. Like the second I said, okay, I gotta know, so I'm ending it, moving on from it. That's when I walked into the door and all the new possibilities opened up. But when I was in the doubt and I wasn't willing to trust, I couldn't see what was in that room. I couldn't see what was on the other side. I was just in the current familiar room I was in. But as soon as I trusted, the new room opened up, and the arcade and the beautiful trees and the beautiful, symphony. But I had to walk forward even though I felt scared. And as soon as I did, like I said, I could see clearly what patterns created everything. And it made it really easy to walk away from it. Like in past relationships, with all the doubt and all the confusion, it was like, man, I was still in it after the relationship ended because I was still in all that crap. But moving on from things or doing things with the clarity, it just makes it so easy. And so now another tip is if there is that resistance and that like constant battle going on about something, it's probably a no. It's probably a no. Because when it's a yes, man, it's like, I may not want to do something or I may have resistance to doing it, but deep down, like, it's like, I choose to do this though.